Can you talk a little bit about your Guatemala retreat in November?
What has been very interesting with me and a bit of reflection in my life is there's always been opportunities that have been created, that have come to me and opened me to a new orientation or a path to follow, you know. And this is how I discovered ayahuasca, this is how I was introduced to Sundance, to the Lakota Sioux tradition, this is how also I was introduced to meditation. And ayahuasca in the Peruvian Amazonian context, I believe, is very much so a path of power, where the shaman gets to cultivate himself and his awareness with the language of spirit and becomes this man that in the past had a very strong social impact, you know, in the community, in the villages, and was very celebrated and respected and gained a lot of power and was sometimes even feared. And even today, it's kind of the same thing. You know, you build yourself to have the super capacity of perception and awareness and interpret data from a certain perception or perspective. It also comes with a strong responsibility in terms of integrity. And I found myself, after all those years, realizing that that path of power doesn't necessarily reflect a strong integrity in the practice, and the duality of humanity is very much still very present, you know. And I was turning myself and looking where some, you know, guidance about what to do with the lack of integrity in the practice of shamanism, you know, because there's a lot of abuse also with that power. And I met some people that really talk about integrity, not you know, and this man in particular, Lonnie Jarrett, who's a Chinese acupuncturist specialized in the pulse diagnostic, you know, and for him everything is integrity, and how as a practitioner you have the obligation to cultivate yourself with certain standard of impeccability, you know, to be able to hold a certain space for the patients, you know. And he really helped me transform my own relationship with integrity and introduced me to some people very involved with meditation and non-dual experience, which is provided by meditation, which is all about letting go of duality and going back in the space of emptiness, which is pure consciousness. And people very much interested in the evolution of consciousness. And I met those people, and we decided to work together. Notably, this German philosopher Tom Steinanger, who is in charge of a movement in Germany called Enlighten Next, looking into the evolution of consciousness, and very much involved with meditation and non-dual experiences, and how to learn how to be detached with your own story, or the story you build in your own mind about who you think you are, your true identity, but go back to this place of just being a human being, of pure, you know, consciousness with your potential to be enlightened in a certain way. And we are looking at how to take people bridging ayahuasca ceremony, which is more about the wisdom of the ancient, and that provides a connection to the invisible, the power of nature, the awareness of we're all connected from an experience perspective. Combining this with meditation, with the aspect of letting go, emptiness, to bridge all this together in a way to create more a collective space for people to come together with a new look about themselves and a new look of each other, and how to engage to each other with a different awareness, a different perspective, to try to create more consciousness collective, you know, and evolve as human beings. So it seems to me that in the cultural context in which we live in, it's more what we need today, you know, and less of really go back to this animistic mysticism of the power of nature and etc. is to rediscover our connection to nature, which always has been there, but to bring it more in a collective context so we can evolve together as community and understand better how to connect.